Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I got a project going on. As you can see, I got an e-trailer box, which is always awesome because you know that's going to be some cool stuff in the box, right? So I got that in there. That is actually a front hitch for the truck. Then I got another box coming for our project on the camper. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that, get those put on, and check them out. Stick around. In this box is a really heavy-duty front hitch, so I'm excited about putting that on because that way we'll be able to carry our bikes or get a front rack and put some stuff up there, or carry an extra generator up here if we wanted to. But let me show you where it's going to go. The hitch is going to go right down here where that black area is here. It's going to stick out right down here in the center. I'm going to have to cut a section out there, so it's going to sit down low, so that way when I put a bike rack on, it'll be up about hood level. All right, let me go ahead and get the truck turned around. I'm going to put it up on some ramps, and then we're going to check it out. So here's the hitch that I chose. It's an extra heavy duty hitch, which is why I chose it. It actually has a 10,000 pound pull rating on it and a 1,000 pound vertical load limit on it. So it can handle a lot. As you can see, it's actually reinforced with, got a plate on top and the bottom. Some of the front hitches just have a plate on the bottom. So I like how it's reinforced there. And then it's got the reinforcement on each side. It's got really thick steel on it. I don't know what it is. Looks like almost 3/8 or 5/16 probably. And then there's all the hardware, and then it does come with, I didn't even know this, but it comes with a front license plate mount if you need that. In Georgia, we don't need a front license plate, so I won't be using that. But there it is. So let's check it out. Let's get underneath the truck and see how we can bolt this thing on. As you can see here, the hitch is made by Torque Lift, the North Front Hitch, which Torque Lift makes awesome products. And they have the weight sticker over here, so you can see the tongue weight is rated at 1,000 pounds and the trailer weight is rated at 10,000 pounds. So this is not a how-to DIY video. I'm not going to show you all the steps. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it and get it done. On my particular truck, I'm going to try to actually install this without taking the front bumper off, although in many cases you might have to. But first, if somebody has the F450 pickup and it has the high output, you're most likely going to have an intercooler, which is going to be like another radiator type thing. It's going to be down in here, and in that case, like I said, it has to move. But I don't have that, being the having the cab chassis version of the F450 that has the detuned motors, so don't have the intercooler. And when I crawl underneath, you can see the intercooler would be sitting up here, kind of in the way, so I don't have to worry about that, which is that's nice. So if you get to these frame bolts, these bolts up here, I'm gonna have to take those off. Looks like, I believe another one is going to bolt in here, and then another one is going to bolt into the bottom. So shouldn't be too bad. 3 on the side, 1 underneath. Same thing on the other side. So I'm not following the directions exactly, so I would recommend that you do. However, e-trailer does have a really good video on how to install hitch onto an F450. You can just go to YouTube, or you can go to the e-trailer website and find that. It's really good, but I'm just trying to do this without, like I said, taking the bumper off. So I'm trying to mark my spot where to cut it from the front instead of the back. So this is kind of what I come up with. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and mark it out with my marker and then cut it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use one of these multi-tool things here. And I'm just gonna cut out the plastic. I've already checked behind it, make sure there's nothing behind it that I'm gonna cut into. So I'm in the clear. I just need to put my safety squints on, and I'm good to go. Kidding, I'm using glasses. Well, I gotta admit, my installation of the front hitch without taking the front bumper off is not gonna work. I failed on that. I'm gonna have to take the front bumper off. Not a big deal, just another few extra steps there. I was hoping I could do it. I just can't quite reach the bolts that I'm going to need to that I need to put in inside the frame. So I'm going to have to go ahead and pull the bumper off. So better get to it. So it's really tight. I think we've got them both got it lined up. It's got to be exactly dead on each side in order to get this thing to go up, and it's working. So Carl and I finally got the hitch in place. Now we're just putting some bolts and some washers and lock washers and nuts on there. Going to get it tightened up and then put the front bumper back on. So here's the reason I had to take the front bumper off, because I gotta be able to reach in here to put on all the hardware onto these bolts, put the nuts and washers and stuff on each side. Carla, say hi.
Hi. I've been inside sleeping. I just got back from a work trip.
Carla's been napping. She had a 5-day work trip and just got in this morning. So she's been tired, so I was out here working on it myself, but she was gracious enough to come out and give me a hand. Thank you, Carla. Yeah. All right, well, I think it's gonna work. It's kind of hard to...
It's hard to tell.
We're gonna have to go ahead and get the hitch tightened up. I think my hull's good. I can always trim it if I have to. But go ahead and pull the bumper back down. All right, I've got all the bolts in. I got them snugged up, so I'm going to go ahead and torque them all down to the specs that are in the instructions. And that'll be about it with this part of the install. They're going to get the bumper on.
It's kind of a weird angle too. You get more leverage on it that way. There it goes.
I don't know what the torque is on these, but it's that tight.
Well, what do you have that set on?
It's just a breaker bar.
Oh, it's a breaker bar.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like underneath the truck. All mounted up, looks good. 3 bolts on this side, and then the bolt, big bolt underneath, and same on the other. Looks good. It's tucked up in there. Fits very nice. All right, Carla, there it is. What do you think?
I think it's gonna work good.
Yeah? You ready to bring your bicycle and go camping?
Yes, I've been ready for a long time.
Yeah, we haven't been able to do that for a long time, so now it's gonna work. Now this bike rack I've owned for almost 20 years, so it's not really ideal for this application, but it will work, as you can see, and we could see over it, over the bicycles. I'd like to get one of the bicycle racks that has the trays where the tires will sit down on the bike rack, and then that way the overall height of the bicycles will be lower, about in line with the hood. However, we can see over them right now. But you can see, worked out pretty good having that front hitch on there. And then we can also add a tray if we want to hold some firewood, or put a larger generator on there or something if we needed to, or whatever we wanted. So I'm pretty excited about having a front hitch. I think we'll find a lot of use for it.
I think so too. We had it on our Ram, but we haven't put one on since then. So.
Yeah, so looking forward to having that. We got another project coming up on the camper here, so stay tuned. Another thing I want to mention about having a front hitch is we can actually put a front tire mount, spare tire mount on a hitch up front in case we decide that we want to move our spare tire that we have here on our flatbed. If we decide we want that space, then we can actually get a front hitch and carry our spare tire up there. So that's another really cool option that you can do with the front hitch. Another upgrade I thought I would do in this video is a real quick little exterior speaker swap on our Lance here. It has the 2 outdoor speakers, and both of them are shot. They're just kind of dry rotted. I'll show you. I put some duct tape over them just to keep the water out, because they were the speaker cone of it was torn. So you know, whether rain or washing the RV or whatever is getting wet. And so I'm just going to pull those 2 speakers off and replace them with some new exterior waterproof Jensen speakers I got from eTrailer. as well, just 6-inch. So hopefully should just be a direct replacement. So let's get into it. As you can see here, when I get up close, I just put some duct tape over these speakers just to keep the water out, because they were pretty bad. When you shine a flashlight inside it, you could see it light up in there and see that the cone was torn. So I just need to pull this tape off and try to get these speakers out. All right, not sure how difficult this is going to be. Shouldn't be too bad. Hardest part's probably getting this duct tape off. Gorilla tape, actually. There's some sticky stuff. Looks like it's going to take the square bit on the screwdriver. Easy enough. This might prove to be more work than I thought it was going to be. I don't know, we'll see. I think it's just kind of stuck underneath there. Might be some butyl tape or something. And I'm leaving some marks on here, but those will come off. There we go. Alright. Yeah, it just kind of stuck on there. Looked like either some sort of silicone around here or lap sealant or something. Just a little bead around the outside of the speaker there. So here's the new ones I got. They look pretty good. Like marine type speakers. RV outdoor speakers. They are 4 ohms, 30 watts. You can focus on that. Link will be below if you're interested in swapping yours out. They're only about $30 on e-trailer, so a really good deal. So if you're, just to make sure your outside of your camper is protected, you're not getting any water in through your speakers, that's well worth swapping them out for around $30. There you go. You can see some of the dirt in there. This is the back of the speaker. Can't really see, but the cone was actually torn. Actually, you can see right through the grates, through the grill. So you can see that the speaker part of it is completely gone. It really didn't make any noise, and I just didn't want to let any water into the back of the camper. Wood's still dry. Get that dirt out. Well, I just realized something, that the new speaker is much deeper than the old one. So looks like I'm going to have to, with this part sticking up here, it's got a little bit bigger magnet. Probably sound way better. But looks like I'm going to have to cut some of this wood out. It's on the inside of the wall, so I'm going to have to check that from the inside of the camper, make sure I'm clear, so that I can do that. And then got to make it big enough to get that portion of the speaker to fit in there. Now, other than that, looks like they'll fit in there perfect after that. So it looks like I got to pull the multi-tool out again. I'm just going to use this to cut this wood right here, the inside of the wall there. There's plenty of room behind there. So I'm just going to make the speaker fit. I think what's kind of hanging me up is this little piece here where the wires connect. Doesn't look like it would, but all right, well, I got the speaker to fit. Basically, the problem was the connection down here where the wires plug in. I just had to basically just flatten this out all the way across the bottom, so now that it'll actually sit in there nice and flush, and the holes line up, so I can just screw it back in. So I don't need to clean it out. Need to put a little sealant around the back side of the speaker, and then put it back. All right, well, I'm almost done. I don't have any non-sag lap sealant, but what I do have is just some window and door caulk. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that to put around the back side of this speaker, seal it up. If it'll work with a door and a window, it ought to work with a speaker on the back side of or on the side of an RV, right? So plug them back in. Hope that it works. Yeah, this is gonna work good. These are 6-inch speakers. Now also, some RVs have 6.5-inch, but these are 6-inch. Wipe down some of the excess caulk around the outside. Go do the other speaker. And then be ready to rock out. Don't worry, we're not those people that crank the music up at the campground. If we do turn them on, which is not too often, there's usually not many people around, number one. Number two, we don't really crank them up that much, just enough that we can hear it when they're sitting right outside. We're not those people that are trying to have a dance party outside of our camper. That's not us. But, you know, a little bit of music while you're just chilling and hanging out, it's kind of nice. We're big music lovers. So, having some outdoor speakers that sound good will be a bonus. Over the years, we have bought a lot of products from eTrailer for our several different campers. And most recently, I bought the converter that I swapped out in the Lance camper. You might have seen that video about a month or so ago. And I also just bought some snap pads for the Lance too. Haven't even installed those. And that was just like a week or two ago. But I want to say thank you to eTrailer for providing us with the Hitch and these speakers. We are affiliates with eTrailer, full disclosure, so every once in a while they might send us a product for us to review and check out. So they were kind enough to send these to us, so we're gonna give them a go, and I'm sure they're gonna work out great. The Hitch is gonna be fantastic to have another front hitch again like we did in the past. And the outdoor RV speakers, if you got an RV, you definitely need to check your outdoor speakers every now and then to make sure they're not cracked or damaged, and you know, then they can let water into the side of your camper, so and you don't want that. So make sure you check that. Hopefully this video helps, and appreciate you hanging around watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time on Runaway Roses. Bye bye.